Hey race fans, we're here to give you our recommendations on what you might want to do first when expanding your new slot car set. So you decided to get a slot car set. Maybe it's the holidays, you're going to put it under the tree as a gift for the kids, or maybe it's disguised as a gift for the kids even though you actually got it for yourself. But regardless of your motivations, you've already decided that you're going to want to expand your set, and with all of the options and accessories available, you're not really sure where to start. But we do have some suggestions. Just a note, much of the information in here is geared towards Carrera Digital 132. However, some of the information will also apply to other manufacturers of digital slot car tracks and even analog tracks for that matter. I know this is supposed to be a video about what to do after you get your first slot car set. However, just one thing real quick first. If you haven't gotten your first set yet, if possible, get one that includes the wireless controllers. And depending on Carrera's offerings at the time, you might see a kit that's got, say, 3 cars in it, but it has the wired controllers. And you might really want that third car, but we think you're still better off just getting a set that's got the wireless controllers to start, and then just add additional cars and controllers separately. And we recommend the wireless controllers for the same reason anything is wireless these days. It just provides more freedom of movement. You can drive from anywhere around the track. And if you're driving with your kids and they have a wired controller, sometimes they can get excited, go after a car that wrecked, forgetting that they're tethered to the track. And if this is set up on the floor, now you got the cords there on the floor, and again, the kids, it's a trip hazard. They can catch on that and damage the track, damage the controller, damage the kids, especially if the kids have been drinking. If it turns out that option isn't available, you can buy the wireless set separately. And just one more note for those that haven't gotten their new track yet. Although Carrera has 1/32 scale sets, the track is actually 1/24 scale. Thus, note on the package it's listed as 1/24 scale, but also notes that it's compatible with both 1/24 and 1/32. This allows you to run the 1/24 scale cars. This right here is a C7 Corvette in 32nd scale, and this is the Corvette C7 in 24 scale. And we love the 1/24 scales. You know, they're bigger, they're not so darty, a little bit more realistic. So it is nice to have that option. So something to keep in mind, given the same overall track length and same configuration, the Carrera track, mostly due to the larger radius turns, is going to take up a little bit more space than your standard 32nd scale track. Now that you got your starter set, and this isn't it, the following is what we recommend in no particular order, the first things you might want to add to really enhance your slot car experience. Your starter sets for Carrera are going to have about 24, 25 feet of overall track length, and your longest straightaway is going to be probably at most 6 feet. It doesn't really give an opportunity for these cars that have so much more potential to really stretch their legs and get up to some higher speeds. And you can buy track pieces individually, but really the best bang for your buck is this expansion set here. And there's a couple of reasons we like this one. Firstly, the starter sets for Carrera Digital only come with one lane changer, therefore only one opportunity per lap to change lanes. This expansion set adds 3 more lane changers, therefore you can put one on pretty much every straightaway. It also includes 4 standard straight sections. Combined with the length that the lane changers already give you, you can build some long, meaningful straightaways. And this just gives you a much more of a dynamic between your high and low speeds, as opposed to something like this where you just have a lot of really short, straight sections. It doesn't provide much of an opportunity to change speeds much, if at all. So the longer straights allow you to use more of the speed range of the car. And also there's some more skill involved as far as your braking points or how you set the brakes on your car. You know, just more funner. And by getting that expansion pack, you'll realize a significant savings over buying those components individually. This way you can really stretch your slot car dollar. And these expansion sets are easy to integrate because you don't have to redesign your track, you just need to add them to parallel sections. The starter sets don't come with any sort of a lap counting gizmo or race management setup or anything like that. And for little kids, that's not a big deal. They have enough fun just running the cars around the track a bunch of laps, trying to keep them on the road, smashing them into each other, whatever. But if you're going to run any sort of an official race or competition, you're going to want a way to count laps and determine finishing positions. And there are several options to do this depending on how serious you want to get. A quick and simple way to go is this lap counter from Carrera, and this just plugs into the control unit, the same control unit that comes with any Carrera starter set. And you can set this up for a lapped race, 5 laps, 10 laps, whatever, or a timed race too, most number of laps in a certain amount of time. And this will display race information like current lap, current leader, best lap, last lap, as well as finishing positions. And in conjunction with that, you can also use this display tower, which doesn't add any functionality to your lap counting per se, but it does provide a much easier to see display of the laps, the current positions of the cars, and finishing positions. And this setup is somewhat limited, but it does let you know when the race is over and who won, plus some other information, and that might be all you need. But if you want to go next level, you might want to consider race management software. There are a couple of ways to do that. There's the Carrera AppConnect, which you can load onto a tablet or a smartphone that's connected with the Bluetooth module. And there's also some third-party race management software that you'd run on a PC or a laptop. And those would connect to your track with a serial to a USB converter cable. Both the AppConnect and third-party software acts as a lap counter, lets you know when the race is over, who won, that kind of thing. But you could also do things like set up driver profiles, set up schedules, make your own custom scoring system, keep track of points for the night, log all of the race info, individual lap times, track records, and a lot more.
Checkered flag. Race is over. Salami has won.
So you have a digital slot car track, might as well take advantage of all of the features digital has to offer, and one of those features we think is the coolest is the pit stop. So when you're running a pit stop, you're running essentially which is like a virtual fuel tank where as you drive the car, it will use fuel, and when you get low, you need to come into the pit stop to refuel. Carrera has 2 settings when using the pit stop or the fuel stop feature. On the standard setting, the performance of the car stays the same throughout the entire fuel run. And then there's the realistic fuel setting, which simulates the weight of the fuel. So on a full tank, the car won't accelerate as quickly, the braking's more sluggish, top speed is different. So as you burn fuel and lose that weight, the performance of the car increases. And the rate of fuel consumption can change depending on what kind of a driver you are. Someone who's a smoother driver is going to use fuel at a slower rate than someone who's more aggressive and a lead foot, believe it or not. How cool is that? So having the pit stop adds to the level of realism, as real as you can get for slot cars anyway, a little bit more interest and strategy as well. Okay, just a quick recap on the first 3 things that you might want to do when expanding your base Carrera digital slot car set. This expansion set will not only add about 40% to your overall track length, give you a chance to get some more speed out of the cars, but also provide an additional 3 lane changers as well. A lap counting system or scoring system will allow you to determine winners and finishing positions of races, or go with a more advanced software-based race management system where you can set up schedules, track points, log race info, and much more. Using a pit stop adds another dimension to your racing as you now have the additional strategy of fuel management. And we recommend these as first steps because they represent an array of features that really enhance your slot car racing experience and are relatively easy to implement. If you plan on expanding further, there are a whole host of options available. Some of those, such as adding different radii a turn, which is highly recommended, get more involved as you may need specialty track pieces to get your circuit to connect. Track planning software becomes more of a necessity at that point, and as the track gets longer, you may end up needing to add power taps as well. If that's your plan, you might want to check out our video on track design considerations. If this video was helpful, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.